Welcome to the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. I'm Scoot. And for those of you who are attracted to this video because of the subject matter, abortion rights, I hope you will become a subscriber. It's free, and we'll give you a notice every time we post something. As you will see, there are a lot of different opinions and different videos on this YouTube channel, and we will upgrade this as time goes on. But thank you for being part of the beginning here of Scoot of the Air YouTube. But again, I hope you will become a subscriber, and we'll give you notice every time we post something. We have to talk about abortion rights and then the elephant in the room. First of all, I've spent a lot of time talking about this on my radio show on WWL in New Orleans. And I'm really pleased because, so far, the wackiest anti abortion activists have not been calling the show, which is good because, some of these people are just crazy. I mean, they're maniacal. All right, look, let me just establish this for those of you who don't know. I am pro life, but I'm also pro choice. And I'm not alone. I mean, there's even an organization, Catholics for Choice. I don't like the idea of abortion. I don't like the idea of somebody, just okay, well, I got pregnant, so let's just have an abortion. I don't like that idea. Um, there is an aspect of life that begins at conception. Is that a person? I don't know, and you don't know either. We don't know when God gives that fetus a soul. You can believe what you want to believe, but we don't know. I don't want to get into the morality of that. And I really don't expect to change anybody's minds because, you know, this is one of those topics where people are just absolutely set in what they believe. But the ramifications of overturning Roe v. Wade are significant. And that represents the elephant in the room. All right. So this opinion draft was released, indicating the Supreme Court is on the verge this summer of overturning Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade, in general, is based on a person's right to privacy. There's nothing in the Constitution that either allows for or allows for the ban of abortions. And so it's left up to the individual. What is dangerous about this being overturned is that there are other cases based on right to privacy, like birth control pills, like anti-sodomy laws, sodomy laws making sodomy illegal. That was declared unconstitutional based on our right to privacy. The same thing is true with same-sex marriage. So are these things going to change? Plus, I mean, let's think about how wacky this is going to get or could get. Here in Louisiana, they've already drafted a bill in the legislature declaring that at the moment of conception, the moment the sperm fertilizes the egg, that is the moment that fetus is considered a person. These are called personhood laws. And this is going to establish this whole new precedent. Somebody texted my radio show today and wanted to know, if you're pregnant, could you technically be in the carpool line? The line where you have to have at least two people in the car? Why not? It's a person. So you should be able to be in the carpool line if you're pregnant. What if you have a miscarriage at home? And in the state of Louisiana, any abortion would be considered murder. It would be investigated as a homicide. Now, there may be some exceptions, rape, incest, life of the mother, that may happen. But other than that, every abortion would be considered murder. If you have a miscarriage at home, what's going to stop the government from coming to investigate how much you might have contributed to that miscarriage? What if you didn't take really good care of yourself? What if they determined that you didn't take good care of yourself and you had a miscarriage? Could you be charged with murder? What about the father? With DNA today, let's take the DNA of the fetus, let's track down the father, and let's hold him accountable as an accessory to murder. This just has far reaching ramifications. Here's something to be aware of. A lot of people who support overturning Roe v. Wade are trying to distract you. They're distracting you by talking about all this other bullshit. They're talking about, oh, protesting the homes of the justices. Is that the right thing to do? Um, they're talking about the leak itself, which was bad, and the person responsible should be held accountable. And it could be one of the justices on the Supreme Court. So that is an issue. But these are distractions from many Republicans who don't want to focus on the ramifications of overturning Roe v. Wade. Here's the best news about legalized abortion in America: you don't have to have one. The government is not forcing anybody to have an abortion. You have control. You don't have to have sex. And there are ramifications for sex. Unprotected casual sex, there are ramifications. One of them being getting pregnant. So you can avoid being in a position of even having to even think about having an abortion. Don't have unprotected sex. It's it's almost that simple. So you might be thinking that you're, protecting life, but to define the fertilized egg as a person is scary as shit. And the governor of Mississippi, Tate Reeves, will not rule out the possibility that he and others are going to go after birth control. We had this argument a long time ago in the 60s. In fact, yesterday was the day, May the 9th was the day in 1960 the birth control pill was first introduced commercially in America. That was very controversial. There were people who tried to ban birth control pills. They wanted to ban them because they didn't want people to have sex without the consequences of a pregnancy. Okay, you want to get that particular? What about Viagra? What about Cialis? Let's get rid of all the ED medication, all the ED doctors, because when a man reaches a certain point, if you allow him to continue to have sex, well, is that immoral? I mean, I don't think it is, but there are some religious zealots out there who may think that. I think God blessed us with our sexuality, and it's a blessing, especially if it's, used in a respectful manner or expressed in an acceptable manner. And so, so what? God gave us the intelligence to invent things that can, keep men active. So what? But again, just start to notice the hypocrisy that is coming out of all of this. Both sides are guilty of hypocrisy. But right now, right-wing activists, they're activists. I think sometimes conservatives only think that liberals are activists, but there are right-wing activists that are trying to overturn Roe v. Wade in the name of saving a baby. Up to this point, a fertilized egg and a fetus, up to a certain point, has never been considered a baby. Therefore, technically, legally, and medically, abortion is not murder. You might think it is, but according to the law, it's not, unless the law changes. And if you treasured your right to privacy, then you will think about the ramifications of overturning Roe v. Wade. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. And again, I thank you for joining me here on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. We express opinions here. Sometimes we just have a little bit of fun. There are interviews here as well. And I hope if you have been drawn to this because of this topic, that you will become a subscriber. It's free, and we'll give you a notice every time we post something. And you can also go back and check some of the videos we have done.